Okay, we're live. Jenny, come back for another Truman Show with Mark, Quinn, and Jennifer. How are you girls?
Hi.
Hi.
Good, perfect. We have a lot to talk about. As always, there's always lots of things happening around, not only on YouTube, but in life in general. And we experience a lot every day in our everyday life because we're not only on YouTube, we have a life too. We have feelings, we have fear, we have all kinds of stuff that we have to conquer as humans to be able to rise and shine like we want to do, like we're supposed to do. So in that journey, we go through a lot of transition. Personally, I've been on YouTube for a while, so I experience a lot of stuff, a lot of great stuff because I find it's to conquer your fear. That's the most potent thing that you have to do. It's to conquer your fear. So maybe we can just extend on that to start and maybe share a bit of your journey so far. After I'll share mine, but I'll let you start, girls. Whoever wants to start first, and how you conquer your fear and how you deal with the fear in every day, because we all have it, no matter what. Still a bit of fear. Like we're not like I don't have fear of what other people think of me anymore, but I mean there's still fear that are legitimate to have, but
Yeah.
you conquer them. So maybe you can extend on that. Whoever wants to go first.
Jennifer.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Glad to finally be here again. Going through my fear, it's a really, really important topic. I think we're all facing that right now. When I was going through recovery and I went to a 6-month program, I got out, and after about 10 months, I was pretty much on my own. And I had a lot of fear surrounding my alcoholism, so I was trying not to drink, but I was scared because I never was able to not drink before. So I mean that was a really big fear of mine, and I think it was actually a very healthy fear to have, to be afraid of my old addict self, but also to be aware of it. And during that time, I just took life really, really slow. I didn't do anything too large. I didn't make huge decisions. I had worked 2 part-time little jobs. And it started to get to the end of the year, and my daughter and I were separated during that time, but she was going to come back and live with me in June, and I was just renting a bedroom. So I had to get my shit together and find a place to live, get a better job, um, get a car. I didn't have a car at that time, and just really pull it all together. And I was extremely afraid, but I also trusted that I was doing everything right and trusting that the universe would provide, because so far it really had. I mean, when I needed a place to live, I found it one day. When I looked for a job, I found it, and it was easy. So I just trusted in that, and I started noticing that when I went with the flow of my life, that I could trust in things. So the big test was all of these things had to come together by June. So I was in Berkeley, and I used to want to live in Marin. It's across the bay, and I would go down to the Berkeley Marina every day and look at Mount Tamalpais and say, I'm going to go there, I'm going to be there. And I had no idea how, but I really felt the pulling. And without getting into a huge long story, within 5 months, I got a job in Marin, got a car, moved across the bay, everything worked out. The first day I got on my job, the boss I had gave me $500 cash, which I needed exactly $500. Everything just was like bam, 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 whatever I needed. The house, the car, the job, it just all lined up. And that's what's been occurring ever since then. That's been about 2.5 years. And
Synchronicity, eh? You have a lot of synchronicity also.
yeah, so I basically lived like that. And this last few months, I had the fear of doing YouTube videos, but you guys really inspired me. I mean, I just felt the love and of your support, and also just the power that came from you guys doing your videos. And I was like, I have a lot to say, I want to do the same thing. And I was afraid in the first few videos. I didn't know what to talk about, but I just did it, and suddenly, like, I know what I'm talking about. Everything's coming to me. And I got like 700 subscribers in a month. I have people writing me letters, messages, just I mean, I'm so glad I walked through that fear because I was terrified. I was literally terrified, but I really felt that my soul wanted to do that. So that's my experience with it. When you walk through it, it's just an illusion. That everything's waiting on the other side of your fear.
Yeah, everything you want in life is on the other side of fear all the time.
It's true.
And the moment you start putting yourself out, you start talking to the world and telling the world what you have to say, the world wants to hear. The world is madly in need for inspiration. So come out, say what you have to say. Your vibe attract your tribe. You're going to attract the vibe you put out. So it's for sure, once you start putting yourself out, the universe will respond to you. I believe to that 100%. Look at me, look at you, Jennifer, look at Mara. We all have great stories since we put ourselves out and speak our mind. Don't be afraid to speak your mind. People are afraid to speak their mind. They think there's some kind of guy with a black suit that's going to show up at the door. This is in the movies only. It doesn't exist in real life. It's all divine. We're all divine. It's all speak your mind.
Okay, sure. I think we have to go a little bit deeper with that.
I agree.
I think we're not just talking about personal fears. We are absolutely talking about systems of humanity that are ruling, that are fucking dangerous. And we were just watching, the film, the Hellstorm. When you look at like what these armies and these militaries are doing all over the world, it hasn't happened in the Western world. So the Western world has no idea about those kind of things, those type of hellstorms that have happened all over the world, So when we really get it that who is controlling the world is not just a joke, they're very, very organized and very systematically, and they own all the weapons and everything, that is where my fear comes in. And I don't want to work through fear at all, yet every now and then I feel it. I mean, whatever fears I have in my personal world is very different than that type of fear. That, we are dealing with systems that are not coming from the light. And of course, we have to have so much light within ourselves to shed upon these systems. And the more people that we are doing that together, of course, we are much more united and have more power. Yet this is going on, and it's not a joke. This morning,
no, it's not a joke.
Yeah, so that's sometimes, I'm putting myself out, you guys are putting yourself out. And at the same time, I was talking to some very, very spiritual people this morning that are creating light parties, and beyond the two Democratic and Republican parties, they're creating light parties. I got so weirded out that they were believing, I was on the phone with them for 1 hour this morning, they were believing that extraterrestrials are absolutely waiting in thousands of ships outside of the Earth's atmosphere, and they are going to be a part of the biggest enclosure. And then when you listen to what is the biggest enclosure, is the Vatican saying that now they're going to get in touch with the ETs.
You mean disclosure? Disclosure.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I just want to clarify it.
Well,
people watching.
It could be enclosure, bringing
That's true.
in.
It could be.
Yeah, bringing in the extraterrestrials. That disclosure. And I was seeing some movies about how Vatican is involved with that, and that would be the rule of the one world order to run it through by the Pope becoming the Christ or Antichrist or whatever. It's not a joke. What's being run.
Again, the Pope, I think it's only a facade for the Vatican, because I think it's more behind the scene, the Black Pope and the Jesuit and all those people that steer the string, because the Pope, I don't think it's the people that we see in front really that steer up the string. It's much more organized on top, and like you said, they are organized, those people. They have secret gangs. It's all worked by gangs. You have the financial gangs, they all kinds of gangs.
Yes, but it's...
They're all over controlling everything, corner of our life.
Yet,
And
yet it is very big when all the spiritual, what they call themselves the spiritual beyond the curve type of consciousness people are all believing they're waiting for the disclosure of the
yeah,
ETs.
Yeah,
And
I know a
once,
lot of people that are, yeah.
ETs,
yeah,
that's crazy that people believe in that stuff. Like, I never seen one. Like, all people see, all they relate to often is what they see on TV, and everything is on TV. I don't see none of that in real life. So,
That's true. That's another thing. A lot of the things we hear, I've been hearing about this disclosure for years. I've been hearing about Planet X for years. And this same principle applies with the fear. It's like we hear all this stuff, but what's happening right now? You know,
yeah.
right now you're waking up to flat Earth and you're hearing rumors and rumors of all this negative stuff. But if you're very present with it, that's none of that's even happening, or we're not seeing it yet. So when we start to see it, it's like then we could actually confront it. But
No,
right now, the fear is a shadow. It's an illusion because none of that stuff's occurring. I mean, we've seen it in the movies, like we watched the other day, the Hellstorm. We see how evil our governments are. We see how evil the controllers are. That is scary. When I saw that, I was like, holy shit, this is nothing to play around with. And I get that feeling sometimes. But I also try to stay present because I mean, I'm not seeing that happening yet. And when it does, I don't know. We should, I guess, have a plan. But
well,
that's where I'm at with it.
I'm not scared that the ETs will show up because
Me
I know
either.
because they won't, but it's very possible that they will be constructed in order to unify the world together, and already the Pope has announced it. The
yeah,
Pope has announced it.
it's well possible. Look, I don't close my mind to extraterrestrial, but again, like I said the other day, extraterrestrial means they come from the Earth, maybe under the Earth or whatever, but they
Yeah.
don't come from space. We can talk about green bananas that come from space. That doesn't exist. There's no space. So it's
Yeah.
come extraterrestrial has to come from Earth, maybe from subterranean planet. Who knows what's under the Earth? Who knows? You know what's the worst and Perfect It's Many as a good song is nobody knows. We can all argue about the shape of the Earth, sphere, rectangular, but nobody knows. Nobody knows, flat, whatever. Nobody really knows. So even to speculate about ETs and is because we've been so programmed with movies and stuff that at one point it's imprinted in our psyche. It's like I think it's you, Mar, in your video you said that at one point when we pass away, are we gonna see the Earth as a globe when we pass away because it's so imprinted in our? Is it you that said that?
It was the three women
Oh, yeah.
rebels.
I said that.
Our life.
That's it. When I watched that show, that's it. You guys were saying that. I think it's the other Jennifer that said that.
No, I said it. I'm
You
the one
said
who.
it. Okay, that's
Yeah.
it. So is
Because
it
I was really
possible
thinking about that
when
one.
we leave this realm that we see it as a globe because we're so in like it's crazy what they put in our mind.
Well, yeah, our mind is powerful. So what I was saying is these people who are very spiritual, a lot of them who I even used to listen to, and now I can't even listen to them anymore because they're not considering that the Earth is different, that they're very about the planet Earth and the way it looks, and they say they've been out of body and on the moon and the Earth, and it's just like the only thing I could even comprehend or not comprehend but make out about that is that their mind is so absorbed with the globe that if they are going out of body or traveling, astral traveling, that they're seeing it because it's in their psyche to see it, and our minds are powerful. So that's what I was saying.
And in the process, and what I was saying the other show that I wasn't about distraction and stuff like that was also because now we know something great. We know something that empowered all of us, empower everybody on YouTube that come across me. If I see someone that talk about flat Earth, I'm interested because at least you can think for yourself. It tells me you can think for yourself. You're not programmed, and you can have ideas and not be programmed. So, but I think we have to go beyond just the flat Earth. Now we have to understand why it's flat. I think that's very.
Why is what? Why is
it's good to say flat Earth. We live on a flat Earth. We live on a flat Earth, but why it's flat?
What do you mean? Why it's flat?
That's just designed that way. What do you mean?
What do you mean why it's flat?
Understanding the whole principle behind the Earth being flat, why they tell us it's a globe, why they shape it as a globe, and it's flat. I think there's a great stuff to understand, much more than just saying we know it's flat. There's greater understanding, that overstanding that has to come with it, and there's other stuff that we don't know. That there's so much stuff that we have to know that we don't know. It's not just about the Earth being flat, it's why it's flat. To what extent? Because my mind is constantly expanding. So the Earth has to be also expanding. So there's a lot of things that we're not in an enclosed system and with a dome, I believe. No, I believe it's infinite, but to what extent? Like, they hide something for sure. Like, there's got to be something here. It's not just because they want to tell us it's round. There's got to be something greater than that. It's for sure.
So it's not about the why, it's about what it is. But what we can go with, as long as we don't have the military powers to go over an Arctic, all we can do right now is to know that it is all flat horizons, all flat waters, all flat whatever. That is important. Right there, we come out of the psychosis. Right there.
You know, we do those shows and we get together, but you know, one day there might be a guy that watched that, and the guy is in a F-15, and one day decide to flick the switch and take the F-15 and go over Antarctica. It's well possible. That's why it's important to wake up everybody and to wake up the whole Earth. Because there is people in there that, not of me, I can use my mouth, but there's people that has mean to discover what we want to discover, and they might just take a F-15 one day and fly over Antarctica, and just for the sake of humanity, you know, I see that happening. We're in that kind of awakening. One day something's going to happen. It's going to break out, and we're going to find out a lot of stuff, but we got to stay positive and stay on the right track and not cause too much distraction. That's what I was saying that I showed.
Oh, okay. I understand what you're saying. I think a lot of people are, you know, I think what's happening for a lot of us is we're just waking up and we're getting to a point where we're just wanting to hear real shit, you know. We want to get deeper. I want to get deeper. I'm trying to go deeper within myself. And like Mar just said, you know, fears, that's a topical fear. But what about this deep, deep fear? When we're doing shows and sharing our experience, I just say, everyone just go a little deeper, because everyone is just tired of superficial stuff, and we just want to hear like way more. Let's just peel layers, and you know, that's where I'm at. I just want to go as deep as possible, because I started really connecting with people who were feeling the same way as me when I started talking about it, and we're all going through this big, huge shift, and it's just really good to unite on a deeper level. And like you're saying, can we go back to that fear, because
Yes.
I don't feel like we finished what you were trying to get across. So can we keep going there? I feel like that's important.
Well, when I was talking to these people this morning, it kind of scared me of the state of ignorance, because I have sent flat earth videos to them, the 200 proofs and journalism videos and whatever facts, my perspective, whatever. They're unwilling to look at it. And even though they knew where I was coming from, for the whole 1 hour of discussion, they were constantly saying this planet, extraterrestrials, and how all this other magnitude of galaxies and the suns are involved with it. They're all going to come and save us. And it's scary that even people who are really, really thinking that they're advanced, very severely advanced, they're really not willing to look at where we are and how we're being fooled. And I think it's just the fear that I feel like my small self sometimes feels the fear. My big self doesn't feel the fear. I think we need to break this gelatin of consciousness and the cement of denial within all of us. That's why we are coming out. So that's very important that we're doing that. And at the same time, when the fear rises that these people are just looking for, trying to locate the people who actually know anything about anything, sometimes the fear comes true.
People want to know the truth. Like, they don't want to know more than they need to be happy. Like, they don't want to know more than that. They all pretend they want to know the truth. They want to know shit. They want to research. But in reality, you look at them, their action in everyday life, they don't want to know more than what they know already because they're happy with that and they're in their comfort zone and they don't have to break their head to find other solutions. So it's to bring them to a greater state of awareness first, for sure.
Well, I think we need to bring ourselves to the greater state of awareness, no matter what. These fears come up. These fears come up for us to be awakened a little bit deeper and a little bit more into who we really are. That when you are the I am presence, when you are the totality of consciousness, or of your own way of it, then there is really no fear. And this is our quest, and we have accepted the responsibility of being the custodians or the bringers and the guidance of Earth at this level.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we have no fear, that's also artificial.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have fear as long as we have a human body on our bones. Those people who are waiting for these extraterrestrials are doing the same things that people are doing, waiting for Christ to come save them. It's the same principle. It's like we need to save ourselves, and that's. I've just got to a place where I'm just okay. I'm okay with everyone else not being awake. I've made friends in my community who are awake, and I'm so happy with that. I just stopped worrying about everyone else. I've lost a lot of close relationships over the last few years because I've peeled so many layers that I just can't have like a conversation about politics or football. I can't do it anymore. And I don't judge the people who do anymore because I was getting caught up in that net of wanting them to change, and they weren't. So I just, now that I am, like you said, just shifting consciousness, I get to a point of fear. I go through the fear, I shift my consciousness again, and it seems like more and more people are falling away from my life. And I'm getting closer to being the authentic version of myself. I'm meeting more authentic people. Yes. And I don't need a whole bunch of people. I just need authentic. I don't care if there's only one or two, So
anyway, most of the time we talk to ourselves anyway. So.
Well, yeah, we're with ourselves 24 hours a day.
We're with ourselves most of the time, so we talk to ourselves most of the time, so you should be very comfortable with your own self, for sure.
Well, my fear is not necessarily all these people that are not awake. That's not where I'm going. The fear is that even the highest level of whoever thinks they're consciously awake are following the footsteps of the 666 satanic pathway. And what happens if something actually gets created by the system and be showed as if like that's it, and how are we going to deal with that? It's just a fundamental question about life and how we're going to walk our path in complete honesty and know that we're protected at all levels.
That's it. We're all protected. We're all blessed. So it's just to see the light and to find the light and to shine it. And that's what I did. That's what we all did. But that's how I conquered my fear, most of it. Even the YouTube thing, making videos on YouTube, I don't do that to be famous or to research fame. I do that to conquer my fear. It was part of the process to emancipate myself from that mental slavery. Now I am free from, I am awake from mental bondage. Like, no way I'm going back there. I was in mental bondage before. I passed 40-something years of my life in mental bondage, in fear. In fear, first of all, of what other people were going to think of me if I come out and speak my mind and start saying what I have to say. Now, I don't fear no more. I can care less no more. I speak my mind all the time now. That's what I said to myself. I have to be true to myself and speak my mind and express who I am, and that's what I do. And I would do a lot more than that. I'm on Facebook all day long, but I would plaster Facebook with all kinds of stuff all the time to try to wake them up in this, because try to wake up humanity, try to wake me up, because most of the time when I post stuff on Facebook, also I talk to myself. It's like I'm talking to myself. I always project posts to inspire me, to wake me up. So I know by waking myself up, I'm going to wake other people, because the consciousness I embody will affect everybody around me. So
Mm-hmm.
by talking to myself in a positive way, by putting away fear and all the stuff, the madness, shining the light, well, that's it. That's how I conquered my fear. That's how I ended up on YouTube. I made 900 something videos in 5 months because I said I want to conquer it, conquer it. Bang, 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 and then bang. Now I'm flying. I'm flapping my wings like a bird. Now I'm flying high. There's nothing that can stop me. But I had to do it. We all have each of us has a process. Me, it was very hardcore, but other people take it different way. But yeah, fear is something that most of the time it's false expectation appearing real anyway. So
Yeah.
it's something that you think it's there, but it's not even there. It's not even there. It's the thing you think are gonna happen the most in your life doesn't happen. Doesn't happen at all. It's all.
Let's say that again, false expectations acting as real.
False evidence appearing real.
False expectation appearing real, or false
evidence appearing real.
Appearing real.
I don't think everyone's going to wake up in this lifetime. I mean, I know people who are perfectly happy not awake, and they don't want to wake up, and that's fine, you know. And there's a lot of people who aren't, and I think there's older souls. I think we're just older souls. We've been around a lot more. We're tired of this bullshit.
Yeah, but Ivar tells me all the time. I speak with Ivar every day. I speak with Ivar, and just to tell you, I have hours conversation with Ivar every day. And he was telling me, he said, we just have to let go, to learn to let go, to dissociate from all this madness and just shine the light. And I think
constantly
we conquer the fear of everybody, because if you conquer your fear, you're gonna help others conquer their fear.
And at the same time, we're here. I made 2 videos in the past before I knew about Flat Earth. One of them was about fear, and the other one was how these people who are creating all the fear are actually small people. Because if they were big, amazing, enlightened people, they wouldn't have to take the whole humanity as slaves in order to be powerful. And they create a lot of shadows that shows them as big people. And we shouldn't be scared. This is time for humanity to really come on. Come on.
Do you think if they would keep us in joy and happiness, they would be able to control us? Like, no, they have to keep us in fear. That's the only way they can control us mentally, because everybody fear the end of the week, fear the end of the month, the paycheck, the food in the fridge, the pension check, the this, the that, and they're so dependent on the system that they defend it. You tell them what's wrong with the world they live in, and they go defend it. It's like, hello, where am I living here? Am I alone? What's going on? Am I in a dream here? Why you don't want to wake up? Like, why you don't want to see it? Sometimes it just blows my mind the way people don't want to see it. They're afraid of the truth, but there's nothing to be afraid of. It's the most wonderful thing in the world. It's you liberate yourself from a lot of stuff when you start speaking out. Anyway.
And when you look at people like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and those people, what kind of fear did they even have any fears when they stood for the entire humanity? I mean,
they died for their right. They died for what they stood up for. I don't worry about other people anymore. Yannick, you gotta just be happy you're awake, you know? You're awake! You've got it all going on. And do you guys fear, do you ever think about that? Like when Martin Luther King died for his, what he stood for? Do you ever think if the rubber met the road, would you be willing to take a bullet? I would.
That's what I feel sometimes.
I don't fear that. I don't fear that because I know I'm not going to die. First of all, I'm going to shine brighter when I pass away in another realm. Believe me, I'm going to be so bright. Woo! I'm going to fly like a shining star. That's why I post all the time on Facebook. I'm going to fly like a star across the sky. That's what I'm going to do. But no, I'm not afraid of that. You can come and get me anytime. I'm not afraid. I'm ready because this is what I've been doing. I'm ready. Seriously. Nothing can happen to me. I fear nothing. I don't even fear death. Nothing. Because
what about torture, though? Like, say if we were like put in a like situation where they were like, you can't relinquish the globe, you have to believe in the globe, and we're going to make you talk about it. I mean, what would you do if you were being tortured? That's things I think that I do fear. Like, what if
For
they're
sure,
collecting
torture,
information on me, and sudden day they come and pull. You know, I have a child to worry about. You know.
You know, we shouldn't be worried to come out on YouTube. First of all, YouTube, there's how many singers go, me, I know a lot of reggae singers that expose a lot of stuff on stage, worldwide, traveling the world and everything. So there's a lot of, like, they call them out a lot, maybe not talking about flat earth, but they call the politicians and all the stupid stuff. So Jason is really outspoken. Perfect Gidsmani is really outspoken. He told me, he just texted me yesterday. He said, this year I'm not fooling around with them. He sent me a song. It's about Donald Trump or something like that. So yeah, it's great. Like they want to get into it, and they've been into it for a long time about the system. But
I'm just very happy that there are millions of us right now.
Yes, I am too.
Yeah. We're not alone, so I'm very happy with that. And also a lot of things, like when I look at the YouTube videos of the exposing Vatican, exposing the system, it's like so many people are talking at such deep levels that it's like, thank you, brothers, sisters, thank you for holding us. Yeah.
It's like, look at where we come from 100 years ago. That's what I was telling my wife today. Look, and it's been 100 years, the First World War, and look, the awakening we went through. Look at now where we are, and look at where it's going to go. It's going to be even greater than just in 50 years. Imagine the consciousness on this plane.
That's true.
Like, imagine just in 5 years, the amount of consciousness that we're going to have gained. It's crazy. So that's why we cannot stop. First of all, we're not allowed to stop. We're going to pay for it if we stop. So,
well, there's more of us than there are. There's more of the people in the world than there are of people in power. So the more people who become conscious, they won't be able to control us. So that's the whole point of us getting on YouTube and just spreading the word. And let's get it out to the masses. And those who are seeking truth will find it now. There's no reason not to find it. It's available. It's at your fingertips.
Everybody's posting on Facebook and everything. Like, if you don't learn something new every day on Facebook, you're not following the right people.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
If you don't learn something new every day on Facebook, you're not following the right people.
Oh yeah, I learned something new from you guys and everyone. I've learned something new every day this week, for sure. You know what I was thinking about? This is a little off topic, but if they're in space floating around up there with 0 G gravity, or no gravity, wouldn't their saliva like float and all the like
yes, it would.
In their mouth? It would just like, as I was like swallowing today when I was drinking my water, and I was like, wow, I swallow constantly the saliva. So if you were in space, it would like all come out of their mouth.
And also, when they show their bathrooms, that they go sit on that hole, unless that hole has a suction, heavy duty suction on it.
It does.
It does have a suction.
Yeah, they said it sucks down. Yeah.
Okay, or else it will flow all over, right?
Oh yeah. They have to pee into a little.
Now,
but the saliva, and if you had a cold, because I'm always blowing my nose, I could just see like.
That's crazy. Just look at the NASA stuff. Just look at it. Just look with your eyes, like Jake said. Open your eyes. Look at it. Use your brain. Use critical thinking, and you're gonna see it's all fucking fake. It's all fake.
It is so fake. Yeah.
It's so obvious, but like it's just that we don't stop to question things. We don't question anything, and we just accept what we're told. But the moment we start opening the eyes and use the brain, it's game over. It's game over. Come on, you cannot not see it. It's unless I don't know what's going on in your head. But if you don't see it, I don't know.
I just saw Jerry Nison's last video on NASA. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was
Yeah,
really,
I
really,
haven't.
really nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I posted it also.
I
It's
love
really
his stuff.
nice that how yeah, he's really good, and how they're joking. Like even when they send a shuttle up, like they're sending a satellite up, they say, okay, now the satellite is going to show the curve of the Earth, and they wait for it. They wait for it. It's, oh, we lost the image. It
Ah,
just
just like they
Terrible.
can't do any space, they can't do any private space agency rockets into space. That's never occurred yet because you can't.
no, because
It's
you
A
can't.
boat's gonna get in the way of it or
And
some stupid
I
thing.
saw this post. This older man was whispering in the ear of this younger man. If you believe that they put a man on the moon, if you know that nothing was up his sleeve, then nothing is cool anymore.
Mm.
Meaning that if they didn't put a man on the moon, if you really knew about it, would anything else be cool after that point? Because we're dealing with the biggest lie.
but
How could we deal with that in our world?
just for the moon landing, you just look at the numerology that they use. They put the I would have to go back in my book, but all the things match. Like they think they wanted to put 13 men on the moon, which represent number 13 and something like that. Like
Yeah,
in a way, all the numerology. If you look, just take the Atlantean conspiracy of Eric Dubé's book, go through
Mm.
it. You're gonna know a lot of stuff after because he's going through everything. I read the whole book, very very interesting. But for sure, you gotta take what's good for you. Discard the rest that you don't agree. Like I don't mean he has the whole truth and nothing but the truth, but he's gonna get you some good ways to get around the truth for sure and find.
Yeah, everybody has a piece of the puzzle, and if
Yeah.
we all just do not judge one another for the puzzle piece they have, it'll all come together. You know, we just have to keep an open mind even in the community. I mean, we say we're open-minded, but then people get really closed-minded, and we have to keep an open mind. And there's so many intelligent people in this community. I mean, I've been watching videos today, and I'm just like, wow, these people doing experiments and building models, and it's just really impressive. I mean, this is not a dumb group of people who
no,
are awake to flat Earth at all. You know, we are definitely above the normal when it comes to intelligence if you just listen to everyone and see what we're doing.
I just believe also we are critical thinker. Most of it, we are critical thinker, and we really see the bullshit. We are a bullshit analyzer like me.
Yeah.
I know I recognize their crap very easy.
well, contrary to what most people think about flat earthers, like we have gone back into stupidity and we have lost our consciousness and science and we have lost the hold on all these experimentations. It's basically like we have dumbified. And so many people tell me, it's like, oh, now you have become religious. Now you believe in Bible and all that
Oh
bullshit
yeah,
about,
it's not
you
a
know,
belief.
no,
Not a
it's
belief.
You know,
and it
drop.
also doesn't have to with Bible at all for me. I mean, it's not at all religious. In Quran, I read many times. I grew up as a Muslim, but I have given up all religions. They say many times the center is Earth is the center of the universe. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I always used to think, oh God, how stupid! You couldn't go
Uh-huh.
back so much. And then I sit and watch science movies about exploration of the space. And so now it's very interesting that these religious books talk about that. Now I wonder if they created these religious books and put this information in it because then they could just show it it's just religion.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's what I
Who
always
knows?
wonder because it's written by men. It's written by men. So
Well, they're translated so many times over. There's a lot of missing parts in each book. You know,
but
the people who are on the outside looking in at the community always say you're just jumping one from one belief to the next, but they do not see this isn't just about the shape of the earth, and I don't even need to get into this, but it's about the conscious shift and identifying with where we live and letting that go and waking up to the
Yeah.
illusions. I mean, it goes so far beyond the shape of the earth. That's why the phrase flat earth kind of sucks for us because it causes this connotation where people look at it like, yeah, they just think we're we're in the dark ages, and it isn't a belief. If it was a belief, I'd be attached to it. I was attached to my belief system before. Now, if this changes, I'm cool with it. I'm not identified with the flat earth at all. I'm just open to it. I'm open to thinking or knowing that the world's not what I've been told. That's not a belief system. That's just being open-minded and exploring something completely different than what I've been taught.
You know what?
I don't think this is a belief system that's going to change for me, and
No.
I am attached to it because I am attached to a reality of this plane being not a globe. That's a very important finding.
What,
It's
what
no
I
other
think she doesn't.
I agree, but I didn't mean like
Yeah.
I think it's a globe and I'll go back to the globe. I just mean I'm not
Or
attached to anything I discover because it's like always I'm learning more from what I learned today. Like tomorrow I'm going to learn more. I'm going to learn more. It's not like it's never ending, you know? Like when I believed in my belief system in church, there was only one truth. And that one truth I held on to and I didn't want to let go of it. And I didn't like grow from that truth. This is something totally different. Like I'm learning more every day what our stars are. And you know what I'm saying? Like it's something that you build upon.
Yes, the knowingness that this is a flat plane is
Mhm.
your foundation to even want to look at what the stars are or how we are or even we came from monkeys. Without
Yeah.
this foundation, none of that is possible.
True. Yeah, that's true.
So that's important. I mean, how are we going to change that because another belief will come on? Another belief would not come on. More information will come on about how
Mhm.
the system works together. That's all.
Right. But if
Yeah.
it all fell apart tomorrow, you're not going to lose yourself.
What?
I
No,
know it's
well,
not going to fall apart. I'm just saying I don't feel identified with it. That's what I'm saying.
That's
I would really question myself if this falls apart
Uh-huh.
tomorrow and I find out that we're living in a concave Earth, or no, it was actually a ball and we're living inside of it. I would really question my own mind. Of course I would, but I would. I don't think ever that would happen because we have the
Mhm.
data here. It's in front of us, and that's our foundation.
Right. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I'm really attached to anything that's like I'm outside of a mental bondage. So for sure, I don't want to go back into it and stick to a belief because what's important, like we said, is to drop the belief and raise the consciousness. But okay, I know what you mean, Mar, when you believe you're attached to the flat earth because this is the truth. This is the ultimate truth. This is what they hide from us for eons now. Go back 500 years, they started their bull crap, started indoctrinating us. For sure, I'm attached to it too. Wherever I go, if you're with me more than 5 minutes, I'm talking about flat earth, that's for sure. I'm coming out with it. The other day, you should have seen me. I called GoDaddy to buy a domain, and I opened up to the guy on the phone for about 45 minutes, telling him all kinds of stuff. And at the end, he said, "You know what, Yannick?" He said, "I like flatbread. That's a good start."
Ah, that's
So
cool.
Yeah,
it's just
beautiful.
to it's just to talk to people, and I was really on fire. I was delivering my stuff like one after the other. It was just and he said to me, he said, "Okay, I have a question for you." He said, "Okay, go ahead. I'm ready. Anything you can bring, I can have an answer." So he said, "Okay." He said, "What about the planets that goes around us?" Like I said, "Okay." I said, "What kind of planets you're talking about?" Because if you take a telescope, you look in the sky, they're only light bodies, like flicking lights, going around in movement. They go, they move. Like I said,
Have you
that's
really
not.
looked in a telescope and seen that? Because I saw the video of that, but I looked inside a telescope and they were just floating. They look like little tiny paper things against a black felt board, like Saturn was like
Yeah,
a
that's
white piece of
yeah.
That's what
paper
they
thing.
are.
It
They
was
are
weird.
light bodies flicking electric phenomena. I
They
don't
look.
know what they are. Nobody knows. That's the thing. Nobody knows.
I
But
just don't remember him flickering, but I've only seen it through a telescope one time.
yeah. No, I've done some on my channel. I'm gonna buy a camera eventually, a good one, and I'm gonna start going stargazing at night. I want to take some more just to show people they are not suns. Everything that and even the stars, they tell us they are suns. They are not suns. Come on, there. You can easily take your camera, your iPhone, and look at it, and you're gonna realize, okay, so that's point one. Okay, but then no, there's other dots that you can easily put your finger on it and bang, the whole thing comes very clear. We live on the flat earth.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a very good video last night about flat Earth and the Jesuit agenda. You may want to watch.
Yeah.
Flat Earth and the Jesuit agenda.
And the Jesuit agenda. It was very, very interesting about how this has been planned for a very long time. Like in my video about the male-female flat Earth versus globe, I talked about that how it was always that everything circled around the Earth, and all of a sudden how Copernicus brought it up, and he never even proved it. They even asked him for the papers to prove it, and he only came up with the hypothesis for a long, long time. He didn't have anything on it. But then once he brought it up with the backing up of Vatican, they pushed for it, and then it shows that how Vatican owns all the telescopes, and they have produced more scientists than any other. So you know where the scientists are trained from. It's very interesting. I recommend it to everyone.
Super interesting. What about, what was I going to say about, this whole theory of this gravity theory? No one's really built upon that theory. They just left it there. I mean, with everything else, scientists are constantly like learning more about it and changing it, but relativity and gravity has just been solid. They just keep it right in place because without it, they don't have a leg to stand on.
No,
no one's developed it further along.
It's the same with Big Bang. Without Big Bang, they have nothing because all of these billions of galaxies came out of Big Bang, they say.
Gravity is how the fish swim, how the birds fly, how the smoke fly. It's tight enough to keep the ocean stick to them all hurt.
Oh yeah, that was a funny conversation.
Smoke, it's crazy. But you know what? It's not because it's hard to decipher the bullshit that they tell us. It's just that we're not aware that we are not aware. Me, I wasn't aware that I was not aware. I didn't know that stuff, but I didn't know that I didn't know. Because if I would have known, if someone, I did research, I found it by myself on YouTube by searching Babylon for months, going through all kinds of stuff, and then bang, Eric Dubé showed up on YouTube. I'm like, okay, what is that? So then that was the following after, but it's just because we're we don't know that we don't even know. So we're not even aware that there's a complete different reality, not illusion, beside the illusion that we live. So we live in a big illusion, but we don't see it because it's so deep, the conditioning. We're not even aware that we don't know.
Yeah, and it takes us back to the controlling plasma being the matrix or the patrix. And I read something yesterday that said what we think is controlling us is nothing but the indoctrination within our brains. We are indoctrinated with believing in these things, and we think the matrix or the patrix is something outside of us, but it's really internal. How we have given our mind to these specific ideas.
It's in the mind of the masses, the Patrix. It's nothing real. It's nothing out there. I see trees and people walking, loving people with love in their heart. I don't see nothing of an illusion. But if you don't wake yourself up, you're going to live in the big illusion all your life. You're going to pass away never knowing where you were, what you were doing, or who you were. That's sad. And some people live their whole life with the TV. All they have, the reality that they have, that their whole life is the TV, that box that they watch 6 hours a day or whatever and more. And all their reality is that box.
But they're so comfortable.
Well, I have sent all these videos that we have seen to my family, my friends, and rather than at least taking a look at it, they will just shut it off and don't even open it because it's stupid.
Yeah, it's too big of a...
It's better to watch Discovery Channel. You're going to learn a lot more on Discovery Channel. Come on, hey, I'm going to be a cool dude. I watch Discovery Channel. I can tell you about dinosaur, man, and stuff like that. That's cool. I watch Discovery, man. I learned a lot. It's crazy. That's what people think. They think they watch Discovery Channel and they're going to learn about the world. It's like, it's indoctrination. That's all it is. But you have to start the distraction. The most thing to emancipate yourself, start the distraction. That's my first advice to anybody is to start the distraction.
But what do you think about this? The people who really start seeking truth in their lives, like us, are people who are uncomfortable with what's going on in the world. Ever since I was a little kid, I've like not liked the structure of the world. I thought something was wrong. I couldn't articulate it, but I was very depressed by the time I was a teenager. Most of us were in that same boat where we know something's wrong. However, if you look at the people in the world who don't care, either they're really comfortable or they just don't feel like something's wrong. It's like they don't have that splinter that they talk about in the Matrix, where there's just a splinter that you can't figure out how to get it out. And I think some people just don't have the splinter. You know?
Well, Ali put something on yesterday that said, if you feel that something is wrong with the world, it's probably because you're here to shift it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. That's awesome.
I like that a lot too. Yeah, it's like if you see that you're not feeling comfortable in your skin or you don't belong to this world, you're here to shift it. So don't just sit down and watch it and suffer.
Yeah, or people drown it out with booze like I did too. Instead of, I didn't know what, I was so confused that I didn't know, and I was so indoctrinated, I didn't know about me being anything, because I was like, I know I'm a writer, but what am I supposed to do about it? So go, you know, just get it out of my head. I can't deal with it.
Yeah, and if it's yeah, and if it's not that, it would be food or sex. Look at it. They're starting boys at 9 years old with porn now. Yeah. They all have they're watching really that. I mean, what is that? That's addiction out of this world. So here we go.
They get us addicted early.
No, we have. That's why it's important to. Oh no, there's so much badness in this world for sure. If we start putting the light on every thing, oh no, we're here for a long time. There's so much stuff happening, so much people suffering, so much wicked people, so much wicked. I'm tired of the wicked. We have to get rid of the wicked. That's what we have to do. There's too much wicked people that don't care, that have no empathy, no feelings, no love, no. And if you have no love in your heart, you ain't got nothing at all. Love complicate. Love is just a smile. It's just a kiss. It's joy and happiness. That's what I wrote today on Facebook. It's not complicate. Be love. That's what we are. Speak out. Speak your mind. Show love.
It's just the sociopaths rule everything. That's the thing.
You want to rule your
sociopaths tend to take control.
You rule the mind.
And they can rule everything because, as we talked, Jennifer, in our thing, we are programmable, and we are biocomputers, and we're running on wrong programs. That's why it's important for us to shift the programming now. This is it. This is our chance. This is rising up. And so we have only a few more minutes. I really don't want to talk more than an hour because people have asked that very strongly.
Yes.
That was good. That was good. No, seriously.
Can we talk about solutions for a few moments?
Solutions.
What's your solution?
Overall or in general areas?
Anything. The solution of what you see in this world besides your beautiful videos and putting your truth out. Yes, both of you.
I think my solution is just to keep shedding layers of myself. That's the only thing I have the power to do, is to change the way I think, to change the way I behave, to change the way I love people, to stop judging. I think that is the only thing I could possibly do. And by doing that, other people are starting to shift, and I've seen it happen. And that's my only solution. That is all I have.
Yeah.
Same for me. Keep rising and shining brighter every day, because when I shine bright, I give unconsciously permission to others to do the same, and I know others are doing the same, and that's perfect. And I want to create followers. I want to create leaders. I don't want to have 2,000 followers. I want to create leaders. I want people to speak out, speak their mind, and, do like us, and just rise and shine. It's not hard. Rise.
That's beautiful. So I think that's a part of my solution to watch my feelings and watch my fears, watch my limitations, yet act like the magician. And the magician uses everything,
That's right.
absolutely everything, as jewels. We can receive the jewels from this entire human experience and allow that to empower us and take us forward. There is a Persian expression that says, where did you learn your politeness from? And this beautiful wise person says, I learned my politeness from the people who are not polite.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so the more we see the things that are not aligned with the highest good of humanity, the more
Mhm.
we're dedicated to be the beacons of light for
Mhm.
That's
shifting
what.
humanity.
That's
And
true.
it's not about just our own selves, it's about the entire body of humanity that we're working for.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, be a beacon of light. Be a beacon of light. Big, big torchlight. A big, you have to shine bright, so bright that people are, you make them uncomfortable. Make them uncomfortable. You shine so bright that they're uncomfortable. They have no choice to say, whoa, what's going on here? What am I around? Who's that guy here? Like, you have to put them uncomfortable to get to them, to really break if they don't have that splinter, that little thing like us, that we knew there was always something wrong with the world. I'm not here because I want to build another world. No, there's something wrong with the world I live in. I'm here to change it. Like other people, I'm not alone.
yeah, and we have the view of another world that we can create because we are connected to that vision of beauty and the end of war within ourselves.
Yeah.
Once the real war is completely done within ourselves, then we can finish the war outside.
Yeah. I really like
Okay.
the other Jennifer that was with you on your talk. Did the three of you? Maybe we can
Yeah.
have her on the Truman Show one day. Would be very nice to have her. I really like her. Like,
Beautiful. She's a very good soul for sure.
no, I would
Yeah.
like to have her. It would be nice. Like, I just want to connect with people. It's not hard. I'm not here to put a show of distraction. Like I said, I just want to connect and share the vibes. And I don't know.
Yeah. I
Okay.
have someone I want to invite on the show, but I'll tell you off the air.
You know what? Most accomplishment in life are being done, but people who had no idea what they were doing at first. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm honest with you. I have no idea.
Mhm.
I'm just taking the ride. I have no idea. I have no agenda. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it.
I'm glad that you're in that same boat because I'm like, I'm just doing it too. And hopefully I'll know someday. But you know what's funny? I always tell Mary Mar this that if I would have not seen any other videos and known about the flat earth and I turned to your channel and watched your videos, I would have been turned on to flat earth immediately. I would have like totally jumped on board because you're so convincing just because you are so like you shine just
Yeah.
truth. And I would just be like, "Oh my gosh, I believe in flat earth." I would no,
No,
I wouldn't have
that's
a
why. If you go through
How beautiful.
my first video to the night, and you don't believe in the come on, there was really some. So no, that's why I did so much. I said I have to shine my light so bright because I always said that I want to see a change in the world. So what I have to do, be the change, be the light, shine your light, shine bright until I have no more light. But that will never terminate because I am a light body. And I will shine forever, even higher. When I'm higher, I'll shine even brighter because now I'll illuminate people down there like a crazy madman. I'm gonna wake them all up.
Well, I want to just tell all the people who are exploring into flat earth and more consciousness about all these that I feel so much warmer and held on this earth and more belonging to a family that I never had this way.
Mhm.
And never life was this exciting. That's why this by itself, I have stood for lots of other causes, yet none of them have hit my core this way. And
Mhm.
that's why this is a foundation that cannot be lost, and within this foundation of this plane of beauty that we live in, having all these millions of people, it feels so awesome. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah,
No,
thank you to everyone too. I that the support of one another is what's going to move this fire forward.
Yes,
no,
and
that's it.
thank you, Yannick, for another beautiful
Wow.
show.
Me, it's a pleasure. Always, anytime, all the time. Me, like I said, I love it. I love it. I love sharing the vibes. I love to connect with you girls. You're two beautiful minds and beautiful girls also. So
Thank you.
It
Thank
lights the
you.
whole thing. So.
Yes, thank you for your contribution always. Okay, take care.
Oh,
Here, guys.
namaste. We're out.